Just buying a basket case motorcycle and its restoration wasn't so fun for me and for my father. So we decided to let loose and install a car engine. Air-cooled V4 engine, as old as the hills, but we like it. Everything started with the engine in a box, a basket case engine to be precise. Let's see what we have here. Between the packaging filler there are definitely some parts. I see one cylinder head. This is a carburetor. I think it's even older than my father. We will keep it, it might come in handy. This is a pressure plate. It's so rusty, I don't think we will need it. Oh, this is the main feature of this engine, the air impeller and alternator in one case. It creates such an airflow or even an air thrust that we assume it must be generating several horsepower. Here we have an ignition distributor. It's too old and ineffective, but it's not a problem to install new electronic components into it. And this is the first cylinder head. Oh my god, it's seized and completely toast. However, I believe it is possible to bring new life to it. This valve can't even close. That is how bad it is. My precious, the cylinder block. It's interesting to see how worn out it is, especially these camshaft bores. Anyway, this is not a problem to repair it because we found guys who are able to rebore and push these bores. There are only 2 of them. That's insane for the 4-cylinder engine. The front cover is quite special. It has an oil pump in it, so it's impossible to easily repair it. But we have an ace up our sleeve, so I think we will manage it. So this is our treasure, which will turn into a real engine. In case anyone didn't know, this is a 30 horsepower car engine, or rather, it had 30 horsepower originally, considering it's old as the Hill's original carburetor and ignition system. 76 octane gasoline and low compression ratio. Now with all the improvements we are going to make, it should give us at least 40 horsepower and good torque. Then we found some really old missing parts. Now I need to clean them up and take them to a machine shop for grinding and honing. They will machine them to the first oversize, but firstly it needs to be cleaned of the thick layer of grease.
Second guess, and turns out all my friends weren't playing. Put my brave face on, I don't care anymore. You make me sick, but I still wonder who the f would love you like I did. Know your heart and want it, need you like an addict. Stay when you get manic. And who the f would love you like I could? Girls these days are smarter, now you're working harder. It was easy to love me, but who the f would?
The cylinders arrived with the pistons stuck inside. I had to sweat a little to get them out using sandpaper, hammer and heat. Piston rings are completely seized, but the piston doesn't look like it's completely destroyed. So they are ready to be delivered to the shop. I'm really wondering about what happened to the engine where they were installed in. They are almost perfect except for one that has some significant scoring marks, but only in one place. Unfortunately, these pistons are in stock size, so it's impossible to reuse them, because the possibility of finding new cylinders is close to zero. The only way to use them properly is to make a nice coffee table, but we need another block for this idea. Well, we should definitely consider making one. But first we need to finish this project, because now we can do nothing except our motorcycle. We can't even sleep properly.
Down the 405, every single night, anything to see your face, yeah. Putting on a show, anything you like, everything I do or say, yes. clothes around the
Okay, it's
floor.
time to start to assemble this engine. Almost all the parts are ready and everything seems to be good. But because this engine is really old, machining quality in the 1960s wasn't the best and the most precise, so this engine will test me if I'm a good homegrown mechanic, because I'm not sure about that. You may think it's an aluminum block. No, it's made out of magnesium, so it has some pros and cons. It's really lightweight, it's quite strong and isn't prone to plastic deformations. To be honest, I haven't even heard of such engines made out of magnesium. I want to believe this engine has something in common with aviation or spaceship building. Anyways, it has some weak points. For example, its crankshaft lies on only 3 points, but maybe I'm too picky. The crankshaft main bearings are made of, I would say, aluminum alloy. Their surface is quite hard, unlike the modern ones. They are thick and brittle. Let me show you. This is an old bearing. So this engine has one well-known flaw. I don't know why, but its middle bearing is always loose. It concerns even oversized spare parts. So we asked our machine shop to machine the crankshaft, taking into account this detail. This second flaw, low oil pressure. This engine likes to be slightly overheated. 120 degrees is okay for it, so oil becomes more liquid. And it's easier for it to leak from gaps more intensively. We need to think about some upgrades to the oil system. Another interesting detail, we need to increase the compression ratio, so we need to deck the cylinder heads by a few millimeters. But we have two independent cylinders under each head. Those cylinders should have identical length, which isn't the case for these engines. So additionally, they were turned on the lathe to make them the same length. This way we will be sure that everything is level and we won't lose compression anywhere because something lies crookedly. The same applies to oil leaks. The first test fitting into the frame. Well, it looks good, and as we can see, there isn't a lot of space between the engine and the fuel tank. So we need to understand how we put the alternator and carburetor there. But in general, this car engine looks like it was mentioned to be there. Some people may not know that old engines from the 1960s didn't have a dedicated oil filter. At best, they could have a centrifugal filter, like on this engine. We don't like it, we want to make it work longer and be more reliable, so we came up with this solution. We are installing a conventional oil filter on the crankshaft pulley. This pulley is the centrifugal filter, so the oil goes from the oil pump right through the crankshaft to the chamber inside of this pulley. Then the oil spins here while the engine is running and all the heavy particles stay on the pulley sides. We don't like this principle, it's unreliable, because when the engine is idling it can wash out some particles from the walls and they will go to the bearings, which isn't good. By adding this filter to the pulley we can rest assured that the oil will be clean all the time. We will use a hollow stud which screws into the crankshaft and then the oil filter screws on it. We tested this on the bigger brother of this engine and it works great. There were skeptical comments about this idea. People were saying that the filtration element inside of this filter would crumple. It's not true. We tested this technology and it works. By the way, it was a real surprise. Our subscribers sent us this starter drive for our engine. You may ask why we are surprised. Because this part is no longer available for almost 50 years. So this is a precious gift and this one is new. The engine build is coming along. New pistons are in their places. Now I'm putting the piston rings. It's a pity that we didn't find the 3-piece oil rings. Only 2-piece rings are available in our country for the 72mm pistons. I reckon it would be much better for the air-cooled engine to have a 3-piece oil rings, because it works at much higher temperatures and I don't really like the brittle metal of 2-piece rings. For these conditions, 3-piece rings are much more durable. But it is as it is, we just need to be careful with these ones. The final thing we did was connecting its original flywheel to the motorcycle's flywheel. At the first glance, it may seem a simple task, but it's not. There is almost no information about this pairing on the internet, no drawings. It wasn't an easy task to calculate all the gaps, distances, and most importantly, the coaxiality between the engine and the gearbox. So the flywheels were turned on the lathe and pressed one into each other. Additionally, we bolted them together using Loctite. It is impossible to mill the adapter from a single piece of aluminum, or such an adapter would cost more than the entire project. So we had to be inventive and we came up with this solution. We will just use the gearbox end from the car where this engine was originally installed. After that, everything is much easier. Now we have those planes flush. The flywheel and the gearbox part. The next step was to come up with a simple yet convenient adapter, but unfortunately we don't have that much aluminum material, and the material of the engine block and this bell housing is aircraft grade magnesium, so it's impossible to weld something to them. The solution is this: a steel adapter fabricated on site. The idea belongs to our subscriber, so big thanks to him. We took a 3mm steel plate, reinforced it with ribs, and it's done. All the sizes and distances were taken into account, so there should be no issues with the clutch. It may not seem as good as an aluminum one would be, but again, we want to assure you it's strong enough. It lies on this bell housing perfectly and it bolts to the engine with big studs, so it becomes a monolithic construction. It even looks like it's a single part. But you may ask, what are those ears? These are mounting points to the frame, and they are not simple ones. There will be rubber bushings to dampen engine vibrations going to the frame. Okay, good news, the starter has been overhauled with the new starter drive installed and ready to go. The engine is finished. I think nothing can stop us from installing it inside our frame. And we are really excited. Today we are going to install this V4 car engine into the frame of our custom-built motorcycle. And we should make a first start. Just look at this beauty. Well, if it works as good as it looks, I will be happy. That's for sure. I believe it should work well. Let's adjust the ignition a little. Well, the final episode about our motorcycle is coming up, so stay tuned.
Down the 405 every single night, anything to see your face, yeah.